Oh, man. Uh, uh, it's been 2 days. It's been 2 days, well over 48 hours. And the happiness overload is still within me. Show of hands. Who saw this coming? Put your hands down. You're lying. You're lying. Nobody saw this coming. I didn't see this coming. Not even close. I mean, I'm going to be candid and dead honest here. I expected either a close game either way, or maybe Dallas was just going to incinerate us. I didn't expect this. I still can't believe what happened. I felt like I was having some wonderful, wonderful dream that I didn't want to wake up out of. But it was all reality. It happened. We really destroyed Dallas. Now, granted, the points in garbage time made the score closer than it actually was, but this was a shellacking. And I just couldn't believe it. Here we are. The little green and gold engine that could. It's supposed to be a process, you know. Jordan Love is supposed to get himself ready, you know. Get himself ready for future runs, you know. Instead, we get in and this happens. I've spent the last 2 days still amazed over what I saw, and it's amazing. It's history more ways than one. For one, this is Jordan Love's first playoff win and playoff game ever, and the Packers became the first 7 seed to win because this exact format. This is the 4th year of this. It was in 2020 they added the extra spot. And the 7 seeds have been 0-6 until Sunday. And I'm just overjoyed right now. I really am. So, as for the rest of Wild Card Weekend, or Super Wild Card Weekend, we saw Houston get a good win over Cleveland. What a dream year it has been for them, hasn't it? If you think about it, last year, they won 3.5 games. With 3-13-1. Won the last game of the week, which cost them. Won the last game of the season, which cost them the number one pick. He ended up with the number 2 pick, which turned into C.J. Stroud. And look how that worked out. They tripled their win total from last year. They won 3.5 last year. They won a little bit, almost triple. They won 3.5 last year. They won 10 this year. And they're just moving on. They're just moving on up in the world. They're in the divisional playoff, which they have been before. They've been there before. And of course, it's just been amazing from Houston. And of course, we got Kansas City and Miami. Now, I had Miami winning because Kansas City had a lot of problems, but because of that, it was easy for us to ignore Miami's problems. That team had problems. They said it's been said that the loss to Tennessee started this decline, and it got worse. Hit them in the wrong time. They lost that season finale, which was for the division, and as a result, they had to go into cold ass Arrowhead with temperatures that were dangerously close to the famous Ice Bowl in 1967. And they just couldn't get it done. Could not get it done. So that's that. And, of course, speed of cold weather, of course, the Bills had that snowstorm, so that game had to be moved to Monday. And Pittsburgh gave it a good go, but it was not enough against the Bills. Of course, Josh Allen had that long touchdown run, and here I am going, where was this in certain games, especially when I started him on fantasy? Where was this? But yeah, so the Bills are moving on. Now elsewhere in the NFC, we had the Matthew Stafford Bowl between the Rams and the Lions, and that was another great moment. So the Lions played their first home playoff game in 30 years. Their first playoff game in Ford Field ever. Of course, Ford Field has only been, I don't think it's been around for a decade. I don't think it has. Actually, it probably has, but it has been around for 20 years. But it was a squeaker, 1-point game. The only close game this weekend. But the Lions did it. They won a playoff game for the first time in 32 years. So at least Dallas has that. They're not the last team to lose in the playoffs to the Lions. Well, they have that, and what else happened on Monday? The Eagles. Oh boy, they really did fizzle, didn't they? Of course, they were drawing comparisons to the Steelers 3 years ago, because we all know what happened. The 2020 Steelers started 11-0 and didn't work out for them. And the same thing happened with Philly. Philly's much worse. Philly was a big mess, just a big mess. And it got even worse in the playoffs. Even the tush push got stopped. The brotherly shove got stopped. We all saw it on national television. And Tampa just made mincemeat out of it. They did. It's amazing how crazy the NFC is. It really is. So look at the AFC. In the AFC, it's 1 through 4, and they all have at least double-digit wins, and they're in the second round. But look at the NFC. You have the top seeded 49ers, but who else you have? You have a team that hasn't won a playoff game in over 30 years, a team that won a piss-poor division, and a ragtag bunch of youngsters who were playing on house money and were supposed to be rebuilding. That's the NFC nowadays. Now it's a crapshoot, and I'm all here for it. But yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm still just over the moon over this, and now we have the divisional playoff. I love the divisional playoff. I really do. The divisional playoff, of course, it's that last round before the conference championships. And of course, it's the last bastion for Saturday NFL games, because usually in the NFL season, you get like 5 or 6 straight weeks of Saturday football, including the playoffs. This week is the last one. You got 2 Saturday games and 2 Sunday games. And the divisional playoff introduces the bye teams. It's 4, well, it used to be 8 bye teams. Now it's 4 bye teams. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It used to be 4 bye teams. Now it's 2 bye teams. I'm all mixed up. I guess I'm still in happiness overload. But yeah, it used to be 4 bye teams. Now it's 2. The number 1 seeds. The number 1 teams get introduced. And of course, here's the schedule for the divisional playoff. It starts off in Baltimore. Both number 1 seeds played. Both number 1 seeds play on a Saturday. It starts off in Baltimore. Texans, Ravens in the AFC. That'll kick off the divisional playoff weekend. And of course, after that, the Packers and the 49ers. See, I knew we would get the Saturday game. I knew we'd be on Saturday. Packers and 49ers. Jordan Love's first trip to Santa Clara would be something if he does what even Rodgers couldn't do. That's win in Santa Clara when it counts. And Sunday, it's the other NFC game, the Lions and the Buccaneers, the NFC Central reunion. And then it's the main event, Bills-Chiefs. Bills have a good chance because they have it at home this time. There's no excuses here. They have to get it done at home or else they'll be looked at as failures. So that's my recap of Super Wildcard Weekend. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. My story on Vocal about Super Wildcard Weekend will be featured. Check it out when you can. I'll be back next week to recap the divisional playoff. Hopefully, oh God, if we beat the Niners, I don't know how I will react. So you'll have to bear with me on the recap of that video if that happens. So stay tuned, and of course, go Pack Go.